Hi guys, welcome to another video by AntiquesArena. My name is Walter Neal, and in today's video I'm going to show you the biggest sampler, embroidery, tapestry, whatever you want to call it, I have ever bought in my life. Come in quite a while ago, but it was only delivered this week. So stay tuned, it is spectacular and massive. Okay, just quickly before we get going guys, if you love antiques, collectibles, you're in the reseller business, then don't forget to subscribe, because my channel's all about how-to videos. I go out buying antiques and I show you what everything's worth and how to identify it. So stake your claim guys, make sure you subscribe. If the videos help you and you like them, I would really appreciate a like and a share to help me keep creating videos. Let's get to it. Okay guys, so as you can see it's the same size as my sofa. We're going to come across here and take a look at this now. Now when I purchased this, it was glazed. Unfortunately, by the time they delivered it, they'd broken the glass on the front. But it's not a problem, because to be honest with you, this would have been taken out of the frame for shipping anyway. It is way too big. It's got to be about 7 foot by 3 or 4 foot. It's huge. Come across and just have a little look at it. Now the colours are a little faded, but the quality is superb. Now I must admit, I'm not an expert on samplers, tapestries and embroideries and needlework. However, it's not going to take long to find this type of work on Google. From the size, this could have only come out of a museum or something seriously big, you know, massive display, maybe a pub. But looking at it, I'm thinking it might be a museum. It's Victorian, and well, what can I say? It's dirty, it needs a wash, but it's still retained all its details. It's still in good condition. You can still make out the colours, and it is mounted on a really thick hardboard and in this ormolu frame. So I'll get some close-ups now just so you can have a little look. The only damage I could find on there was where they broke the glass. They pulled just a tiny bit here, but that's neither there, here nor there. That's not, there's no holes or nothing. So we'll have a little look now. I'm going to turn him round in a minute just so that you can see the board and everything else. But you can see how big and heavy it is. It had 1, 2, 3 mounts to hold it on the wall. But I can tell you now, when I saw this originally behind the glass, was a while back, it was that heavy. It took 2 of us to lift it. But it is really quite something. But what I'm going to do is mount it on board and everything at the moment, stapled onto board. I'm going to, for sailing purposes, I'll be taking it off and rolling it up. I may then sell the frame separate, and that can be cut down to make frames, smaller frames, more manageable. Okay, so I've turned it around, and as you can see, well, you can't see a huge lot at the moment. However, when I come in, you've got a nice wooden frame there with the ormolu front. If I can just get in by here, you can see some of the colours were a lot brighter. It's mounted on this board, it's stapled all the way around. Okay, I'm going to list that on eBay now this week. I haven't looked at the prices yet. We'll have a little look in just a minute online, see what they pull in. But I'm going to list it, leave it in the frame, and say it can be collected or delivered locally for a fee. Or if they want it shipped, I will remove it off that big thick board and out of the frame, roll it up in a tube and ship it worldwide. When I had that originally with the glass in there, I was jumping up and down. I thought, just for the frame and the glass, you were talking somebody probably paid £300, £400, £500 for the frame of that size with a big sheet of glass. And to be honest with you, it would make a spectacular mirror. So I may, rather than cut it down, have a mirror plate made to go in that frame and sell it as a mirror. I haven't decided yet, or even keep the mirror. So that's potential. Another use for the, obviously for the frame. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, stay tuned. We'll have a little look on eBay and Google and see what we can find now, guys. Okay, guys. So first of all here, all I've done is I've searched large Victorian sampler to see what I could find. And bear with me. I clicked on just a random Google search, and I thought I'll just scour through all the pictures and see if anything come up that took my eye in similarity. And to be honest with you, everything was more standard sampler size, you know, stuff that's done by children and things like that, so much smaller. So I went then from there and I searched under tapestry, so just a Victorian large tapestry, and I started to find large pieces that were in the same sort of vein as what I've got. And there's quite a lot of them on the internet. This one here has got as a Victorian needlepoint, and they are basically done from wool and cotton. And most people on here are selling them as French. No doubt they're done all over the place, but and they all seem to have this sort of almost faded colour about them. So I thought the colour was faded, but obviously it just needs a clean. You know, there's loads. They call that large, it's 38 inches. You know, that's tiny compared to what I got by here. Anyway, I went through and I found quite a few comparable examples. Then I searched just for large tapestries with a galleon on, just to see what the options were there. And I weren't very successful with this, to be totally honest with you. Everything was like Viking ships, longboats, things like that. I didn't really find anything very similar. You got a Buckingham tapestry there with galleons on, but that's not in the same vein. The one I got certainly I don't think is English. So I had a good look through it anyway. There's one similar, but there. Let me have a look at that one just a second, because I haven't actually looked at this one. I don't know what it's long gone. This took me to Kijiji, wherever that is, so it's going to be long gone, that one. It's just showing me now current tapestries, so that's no good. Never mind. Anyway, I'd done some research and I thought it might be in this sort of vein, looking at the style of the embroidery or the tapestry and everything. This one's down as Oriental Harbour tapestry. This isn't a 17th century one. The original was 17th century. And they're asking $725 for theirs. For that one there. I came across here. And this one here has got a similar-ish sort of look to it with the galleon. And they're putting it down as again, stunning work, considered possibly French scenes. 170 centimetres high by 70 centimetres wide. I don't think that's as big as mine again. So, and they're asking 800. We came across to eBay. I thought I'm going to have a look on eBay how much tapestries are pulling. And again, they're all saying they're sort of French or in the French style around 1900s. They're asking £4,500 for that. Shockingly. But then you come down and you can buy them as low as $75. Now he's put this one as a large antique needlepoint tapestry, depicting a Renaissance scene. However, what he calls large is 21 by 38 inches. I can probably get 10 of them into my tapestry. Similar sort of vein, mind, you know. And then I went into sold listings of eBay, just having a browse at some of the prices. Some of these are pulling astronomical figures. And if I go to page 1, somebody's asking like £500,000 for one. It's stupid money. People are asking 30,000, 20,000 and so forth. Now that's a tapestry. Look at the size of that. I think that's more carpet. Look at it, thousands for some of this stuff. Anyway, we'll leave it there for a minute. Okay, so you've seen the tapestry and you've seen the little bit of research I've done by there. I'm going to have to do follow-up research a lot more in depth. I'm pretty confident looking at the wear on the cottons and the wool and the wear on the frame and everything else and the style that it's certainly going to be 1900 or pre. So it's certainly an antique piece. It's not a modern piece. Now, just bearing in mind the cost of the framing alone and the mounting of it on the board and everything else, somebody's invested a lot of money into this piece. So when you start to weigh it all in, the wear, the style, the cost of the frame and everything, this is actually going to be rated by somebody as a very good quality piece. How much is it worth? To be totally honest with you, I haven't got a clue. They've been on eBay for as much as 30, 40,000 and as low as £75. So it's really hard to gauge. Personally, I think it's a few £100 minimum. But wouldn't surprise me if it was up £500, £1,000 even. So it's something that I'm going to have to research. If I put it on eBay, I'll probably put it on for £1,000, see if anybody makes me an offer. And leave it sit there for a while, it's not going to hurt. To be honest with you, if they still had the glass in there, I think it'd sell possibly to a museum or something like that. And if I am right and it's got the age, then I think it's going to be a very rare and desirable piece at that size. You know, I certainly haven't come across one of that size before. Before you start saying I haven't told you how much I paid for it, I bought it in a job lot from a builder who was doing house clearances and that. And I paid him £100 for the tapestry and a couple of old sewing machines that he wanted shot of, a couple of old singers. But they don't sell for next to nothing. They're like £10 each, something like that. And so if you want to say, take out the 20 quid or 30 quid for the two singing sewing machines, and then I've paid about 70, 80 pound for that tapestry. Am I happy? I'm over the moon, to be totally honest with you. I think it's a beautiful thing. A lot of work gone into it. And we'll just see what the reward is. But I do like to buy speculative items. I get bored when you just buy run-of-the-mill. I like buying something that you don't know what it is. It makes you go out and do reading, and I'm going to spend probably a couple of weeks researching that now to find out exactly how old it is, exactly who made it or what country it come from. I'll probably use Sotheby's or Christie's or something like that and send some images up and get some help there. I may even use some Facebook groups. But I will, before I actually accept an offer on it, I'll probably do a bit more research and find out exactly what it is. But what a really nice, unusual, unique item. And if you're in the game, that's what we're after. You don't want to buy run-of-the-mill, factory-made stuff all the time. It gets boring. You want something that you can do a bit of research, learn something, and potentially make some serious money. You know, on something like that that's not very common, sky's the limit. It could be worth the £100 I paid for it. It could be worth £500. Haven't got a clue yet, but I will find out. Guys, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. Bye for now.